A lot of breaking news coming out today, September the 6th, 2024, as we've just received word that a man who is planning to commit an attack in New York City associated with ISIS was arrested this week at the U.S.-Canadian border, authorities say. Now, I'm going to give you the details as to the attack that he was planning in New York. Now, this comes as well as today, September the 6th, we're receiving word that U.S. General Jack Keane, he has just warned that the U.S., we are on a pathway towards another world war. Retired General Jack Keane pointed to a recent commission warning over the potential of a near-term major global war and conflict that he is saying is just right around the corner. Now, this comes as we are seeing potential physical attacks here in the United States, along with infrastructure attack warnings. We've been hearing infrastructure cyber attacks could be targeting our systems here in the U.S. This includes water, communication, transportation, an assortment of different things. We've received warnings about power grid failures. These all coming as we are also seeing physical attacks as people crossing into our U.S. borders. Now, this also comes as a lot of people are seeing a conflict arise with Russia, and this also coming out today. Exclusive U.S. sees increasing risk of Russian sabotage of key undersea cables by secretive military unit. That is right. So in addition to our infrastructure systems, the underwater cables that run across our oceans, we're hearing that Russia might be sabotaging them to break communication ability from various international means. So they are saying that they also could be targeting those cables under the ocean as well, in addition to electrical grids, communications, transportation, seaports, water systems, also shutting down those cables, disconnecting us from the rest of the world as well. And now this comes as well, as I let you guys know earlier today, if you missed it, we heard there was a nationwide outage for Social Security. The entire system went down, and we had heard that that was a hardware outage, but a lot of people asking the question today, asking me, Steve, was this a cyber attack? To which I'm saying the only information I have is that there was some sort of a hardware issue, but a lot of people saying they were unable to get access to their Social Security today. That, amongst so many others, we're hearing that could be threatened at this time. And this coming, as I mentioned, we're hearing General Jack Keane, retired U.S. general, saying the United States currently is on a pathway towards another world war at this time, with all of the conflict that is taking place right now. And that is coming as a result of what we saw in the Middle East with Benjamin Netanyahu saying that it looks like there is no path forward for democracy, that war is the only way, as Hamas is not coming to an agreement with Israel at this time. We have that along with Russia, Ukraine, China, Taiwan, all of these conflicts across the world, and we're hearing that we are on the path. And this coming as I mentioned, a man planning to commit an attack here in the United States, in New York City, NYC, arrested at the U.S.-Canadian border, authorities say. So a lot unfolding today, September the 6th, 2024. I'm going to go ahead and get you caught up on the latest so that way you know exactly what is going on. Now, before we dive in, do me a quick favor. I see we've got about almost 1,900 people live with me, 1,844. Please hit that like button. If you appreciate the updates, keeping you up to speed on everything that is taking place, helps spread this out further so more people can get the updates. Just takes a second, helps out a ton. Thank you so much. Also, to stay up to date, it's totally free. Why not go ahead and hit the subscribe button, turn on that notification bell. I'll keep you up to speed on everything. And in addition to that, make sure you're staying subscribed. We've heard that there have been setting issues with YouTube for some reason on the platform, people getting unsubscribed, and it wasn't them. Make sure you're staying subscribed to the channel to stay up to date on everything with those notifications on, so that way you know exactly when things are happening. And also, as always, all of these articles are going to be linked in the description below. I cite all my sources just like a book report. Hold myself accountable to my community, because I always say here on the channel, when people ask, Steve, why should we trust you? I always say, don't trust anybody. Do your own due diligence and research. I am just a guy on YouTube sharing with you what I'm finding, and to hold myself accountable so you can see it's the latest, I cite all of my article references down in the description below. And thank you so much for the super chats. I appreciate the support. Julie Jack, $5. The administration needs to go. Well, November is right around the corner, Julie. And Rob Harper, thank you for that $5 super chat. I appreciate that a ton. I will continue to keep you up to date. And also, in addition to that, thank you for all of those members. I see your stars next to your names for those monthly support contributions. Not necessary, but greatly appreciated for those that want to support the channel. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. But I'm going to go ahead and get you caught up. And yes, I see somebody saying that they have been unsubscribed from the channel. Go ahead and resubscribe. I'm not sure what is going on. Maybe check the settings. But like I said, subscribe, turn on those notifications. I'll keep you up to speed on everything, and a lot unfolding today, September the 6th, 2024. So let's go ahead and get right to it. So there was a man planning to commit an attack in the United States, in New York City this week, arrested at the U.S.-Canadian border as he was trying to get in, authorities say. Now, the article says that a man was accused of planning a mass attack, and there's certain words that I'm not going to use that are in this article, but like I said, if you want to read it, you can go ahead. Came out today from CBS News. He was planning a mass attack at a Jewish center in New York City in support of ISIS, and he was arrested on Wednesday in the Canadian border, according to authorities. They announced it today, Friday, September the 6th. The United States Department of Justice said Mohammed Shahzad Khan, a 20-year-old Pakistani citizen living in Canada, has been charged with attempting to provide material support and resources to a designated foreign group that is organized to do attacks on U.S. soil and cause terror. A criminal complaint was filed in the Southern District of New York. Now, Pakistani citizen in Canada plotted a mass attack at New York City Jewish Center, officials say. Hey, Steve, what's up? Says Madison. Madison, thank you for the $5 super chat, getting everybody caught up on the latest. According to the complaint, Khan began expressing support for ISIS online around November 2023 and spoke to undercover law enforcement officers online about his plans to carry out a mass attack at a Jewish center in the United States in New York. Federal officials allege that Khan distributed ISIS propaganda videos and pictures. Federal officials said Khan then unknowingly told an undercover officer about his plans, saying that he was trying to create an offline cell of ISIS supporters who would carry out a coordinated assault by using an AR-style weapon at a Jewish Shabbat's in Brooklyn. So there you have it. Sleeper cells, coordination taking place, you guys. Now, we've been hearing these warnings from the FBI for quite some time that there are sleeper cells in the United States. This one was one that they were attempting to form, they're saying, to perform an attack in New York City against Jewish individuals. So this was just halted, stopped just this week on Wednesday. The news coming out today on this. So those saying there are sleeper cells in the United States, here is more additional confirmation on that, as they're saying that they stopped one that he was trying to form to perform attacks in New York City. Now, the complaint alleges that Khan began planning a specific attack at a Jewish center in Brooklyn that he hoped to carry out on around October 7th of 2024. So kind of commemorating the attacks that took place a year ago, planning to issue another attack on that same day, which is both a few days before Yom Kippur and will mark 1 year since the beginning of the Israeli-Hamas war. Khan allegedly told the undercover officer that New York is the perfect target for Jews because of the large Jewish population, and if we succeed with our plan, this would be the largest attack on U.S. soil since 9/11, he said. So make no mistake, all those people saying that there potentially could be attacks coming to the United States that would mimic that of 9/11, that would mimic that of what has taken place in the Middle East. Yes, these sleeper cells are wanting to do just that in the United States in large major cities. Now, the Justice Department said that Khan discussed the plans to pay a human smuggler to help him illegally enter the United States from Canada. And on Wednesday, he allegedly used 3 separate cars to travel across Canada towards the United States. He was stopped by law enforcement and arrested about 12 miles from the U.S.-Canadian border, authorities say. This has no place in our society. This case underscores the commitment of our joint group task force in New York City to continue to aggressively work to prevent deadly plots before they can be carried out. Our partners are on the front lines every single day, united to protect our nation from those who threaten our safety and our way of life. We plan to keep up the good work, said Rob Kissane, the New York Joint Task Force leader against terror, special agent in charge. If convicted, he faces a maximum sentence of 20 years in prison, the Justice Department says. Khan will appear in court in Canada on September 13th, according to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. So that was a sleeper cell attempt that was trying to perform an attack on New York City against Jewish individuals. This was stopped. So thank goodness that this was intercepted. They said that he actually gave information online to unknowingly to undercover individuals trying to stop what was unfolding. So, potentially a plot to hit on October 7th, they said, from a sleeper cell being formed in New York City has been stopped. Now, this comes as we're also hearing that the conflict taking place in the Middle East, this is driving us closer towards World War III. Listen to this coming out today as well. The U.S. is on a pathway towards another world war, says General Jack Keane in a warning to the U.S. today, September 6, 2024. The U.S. is treading on ground not seen since World War II, according to Fox News senior strategist, analyst, and retired four-star General Jack Keane, who warned that we're on a pathway to a third world war, he said. His comments come amid conflicts in the Middle East and Europe and growing tensions in the Pacific, and echoes former President Trump's warning that the U.S. is heading into World War III territory at this time. Keane told Fox Business' Stuart Varney that he does not react to candidates' comments because I don't want to influence voters, but stated that the recent Congressional Commission on the Biden administration's national defense strategy that he took part in revealed that the threat of another major war is very real at this time. According to the recent commission, the U.S. faces the most serious and most challenging threat since 1945, including the potential for a near-term major war. It also found that China and Russia are major powers seeking to undermine the U.S. at this time, and that the U.S. military lacks both the capabilities and the capacity required to be confident that it can detour and prevail in combat against these adversaries. Keane pointed out that there was a change in the behavior of the United States' adversaries that occurred between the Biden and the Trump administration. What has fundamentally changed from one administration to the other is that Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea are working together, collaborating, coordinating, and truly helping each other, he stressed. And the fact that they perceive the United States as being weak, and they are going to take advantage of this. So they have been incentivized by their perception of the U.S., he said. Martin Gerardo, thank you so much for that $10 super chat. And let me know, do you agree? He's saying there's been a major shift in the perception of our adversaries over the course of the administrations. Do you agree with him that the Trump administration was seen as strong on a global scale, and now the Biden administration is seen as weak, and this is emboldening these other nations to come together, to collaborate, to work together, coordinate, and help each other to destroy the U.S., is what he's saying. If you agree, put a 1 in the comments that the Biden administration is seen as weak and this is emboldening other nations to attack us. If you disagree, put 2. If you think no, that is not the case. But right now he is saying that he believes with everything that is going on and what is unfolding right now, we're even seeing terrorist attacks potentially coming to the United States, that with this, that we are being seen as weak. 1 if you agree, 2 if you disagree, and all I'm seeing is 1s across the board. I'm seeing a couple of 2s, but I am seeing a lot of 1s rolling in. Now, Keane also pointed out how the breakout of conflicts in the Middle East and the Europe, the increase of aggression from China, these are not random occurrences that are all happening at once. It's no isolated event that there's war in Europe for the first time since World War II on a major scale. Russia's invasion of Ukraine, he said. It's no accident that or isolated event that what's taking place in the Middle East, where Iran has operationalized all of these proxies to stranglehold Israel into making people stop living there and destroy the state of Israel and push the United States out of the region. And President Xi's aggression has increased dramatically, he said, about the Chinese leader. Keane reiterated that the commission's conclusion that the U.S. has not seen a period of time like this since World War II, and he warned of what may be to come here very soon. As a result of this, it is possible that the United States could find itself in a conflict with China, and at the same time, Russia and Iran up their game because they believe that the United States can't. The U.S. would be challenged to handle the conflict with China, much less 2 others, and that would mean global war, he explained. So he is saying that World War III is coming right around the corner. So we're getting warnings about Iran, China, Russia, North Korea, cyber attacks, potential physical attacks here on U.S. soil, and also this coming out today as well, a CNN exclusive, that the U.S. is seeing an increase of the risk of Russian sabotage of key undersea cables by secretive military units, so destroying the communication lines in the ocean. This coming as we're also hearing that there is election interference that has been planned and been done, and that is further on the way here as we enter into November. Now, let me know your thoughts. Do you believe that there is going to be interference, something that could be disrupting our elections coming? If you think so, put a 3. If you think no, put a 4. But a lot of warnings coming about this. We've seen this all over the news lately. Election interference, a lot of stuff about Russia, propaganda, all sorts of things causing a lot of issues here. And we're hearing that it could be on the way here very soon. I've even seen a lot of people say that they don't even believe that we're going to be having an election because they believe that something is going to be coming that is going to be major, that's going to be disrupting things here in the United States. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Now, this article says that the U.S. has detected an increase in Russian military activity around key undersea cables and believes that Russia may now be more likely to carry out potential sabotage operations aimed at disabling a critical piece of the world's communication infrastructure. 2 U.S. officials told CNN today. And again, all these articles I'm referencing coming out today, September the 6th, 2024. Russia has put increasing emphasis on building up a dedicated military unit which deploys a formidable fleet of surface ships, submarines, and naval drones, according to one of the officials. Now, the unit, the General Staff Main Decorative or Deep Sea Research, is known by its Russian acronym GUCHI. We are concerned about heightened Russian naval activity worldwide and that Russia's decision calculus for damaging U.S. and allied undersea critical infrastructure may be changing, a U.S. official told CNN. Russia is continuing to develop naval capabilities for undersea sabotage, mainly through the GUCHI, a closely guarded unit that operates surface vessels, submarines, and naval drones. The U.S. regularly tracks Russian ships that patrol close to critical maritime infrastructure and undersea cables, often far from Russian shores, the official said. The U.S. is concerned about the secretive Russian unit undersea operation that has not been previously reported on. CNN has requested comments from the Russian Military of Defense. Undersea cables form a critical backbone of internet and telecommunication traffic around the world. Most communications and internet traffic travels across a vast network of high-speed fiber optic cables installed along the ocean floor. A coordinated attack could significantly disrupt private, government, and military communications along such cables, as well as industries that rely on such communications, including financial markets and energy suppliers as well. So this is not only going to be disrupting communications, financial markets could have major disruptions if they were to do this, if Russia were to break these underwater cables, and also energy supplies as well. So this could disrupt energy, financial markets, along with communications. And they're saying they believe Russia is planning to sabotage these underwater cables that run and connect nations and continents. Undersea cables also carry vast amount of electricity among several European countries as well. The U.S. and its allies closely monitor Russian naval activity over key undersea cables around the world. Commanders Abroad, a NATO patrol vessel in April of 2023, told CNN that they had witnessed an increase of such activity over undersea cables in the Baltic Sea in recent years. The seas around Northern Europe are a focus of such Russian military surveillance and activities. Last year, a joint investigation by the public broadcasters of Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland found that Russia has a fleet of suspected spy ships operating in northern European waters for potential sabotage of both undersea cables and wind farms as well. Using data analysts, interceptor radio communication and intelligence sources, the broadcasters tracked over several years some 50 ships operating in the area using underwater surveillance to map sites for potential attacks. Taiwanese and U.S. forces have seen similar activity by the Chinese naval fleet in the waters around Taiwan as well. As I reported, the return of the great powers in March, the activity looks like targeted harassment by Beijing or an exercise in preparedness for cutting off the whole Taiwan, Elizabeth Brawl wrote in a Foreign Policies magazine back in February of 2023. Russia's threatening activity has not been disrupted by its ongoing war against Ukraine. The Russian leadership places great value on Gucci, a U.S. official told CNN, continuing to fund the unit even while waging war with Ukraine. A U.S. official told CNN that the U.S. would consider any such sabotage of undersea infrastructure as a significant escalation in Russian aggression outside of Ukraine. Any activities that damage seabed infrastructure, including undersea cables, especially during periods of heightened tension risks, misunderstandings, and misinterpretations that could lead to unintended escalation, the U.S. officials told CNN. The U.S. would be especially concerned about damage to our allies' critical undersea infrastructure systems. So, man, we have heard warnings of cyber attacks, damaging infrastructure systems here in the United States. In addition to that, sabotage to undersea cables, a potential hit as well from Russia. We're hearing here very soon. And like I said, this coming as we are hearing warnings from General Jack King, a U.S. general, retired, letting us know that what are you seeing right now? We are on the pathway to World War III, and this coming as well, as I let you know. All of this unfolding today, September the 6th, a man that was planning to create a sleeper cell group in New York City to commit physical attacks on U.S. soil has been caught this week. They said they stopped him at the U.S.-Canadian border as he was entering in on Wednesday. Now, articles starting to roll out with details today, Friday, September the 6th, 2024. So a lot unfolding, you guys. Things are definitely getting intense, and a lot of people mentioning it seems like as we get closer to elections, things just seem to be increasing more and more as we go. So, man, a lot unfolding. Now, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and also do me a favor. I see we've got 2,433 people live with me in the room. Please take a second, hit that like button if you haven't done so yet. If I could just get 50 more likes, that would be 1,500 while we're live. That would be awesome. Also, don't forget, subscribe to stay up to date. And like I said, these articles are going to be linked in the description below. Actually, I think I forgot to include the one about the U.S. cables that came out from CNN today as well. I'll be sure to add that after the live stream. I don't think I added that one in the comments. In the description. I like to make sure that all of my sites sources are cited for you. Kyle Brown, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hello. Got here a little late, just checking in. You had time with those yet? Hope all is well. Thanks for all that you're doing, keeping us informed. You're great. Thank you for that, Kyle. You are awesome. I appreciate that. Yes, I'm trying to check in on everything and make sure that you guys know exactly what's going on. Kyle, I know that you had some articles that you wanted me to reference. If you could do me a favor, shoot those to me on Instagram at SteveRam3. I've got TikTok, SteveRam3. I've got a Facebook page, Steve Ram News. I'm on X, Steve Ram News. But Instagram is where you can actually get a hold of me. Instagram at SteveRam3. Shoot me a DM. Kyle, let me know it's you, and I will take a look at that. I know you had mentioned there was a couple things you wanted me to review. But man, there was just so much going on in the news today. I didn't have a chance to dive into those articles that you referenced on the lives. But please send those to me so I can check them out for you. Andre Rose Hutton said, I follow you everywhere, Steve. Awesome. I try to be present on all of the platforms. Recently joined Truth Social and Rumble as well as the X, the TikTok. I'm on Threads, Instagram, and YouTube as well. So that way anybody can reach me on any of the platforms, and I can make sure that people know exactly what's going on. And like I said as well, if you missed it, Social Security went down today. Now, I've heard some of the offices are back up. Not sure if the whole system is back up, but hopefully it is, because a lot of people let me know that they had meetings that were canceled, that had appointments, try to get online. They couldn't. And yeah, I was able to verify for you guys that there was a major nationwide outage for that as well. People asking if it was a cyber attack. From what I saw, the only information I had was that Social Security was saying there was some sort of IT hardware issue that IT was working on trying to get people back on track so they can get a hold of their Social Security. And if you missed that video earlier today, check it out. I also covered for you where Social Security is going here in 2025 and what the two candidates are saying about Social Security right now as well. So you missed that one, check it out right after this. Shelly Bergman, thank you for the $2 super chat. Appreciate that a ton. Thank you for the support. So you guys, there is a lot going on. I will keep you up to date on all of this. Underground cables that have communications, financial updates, all of these things, electricity getting sabotaged by Russia. We're hearing warnings about that coming. Cyber attacks to infrastructure systems, physical attacks being stopped this week that were supposed to take place in New York City, and also warnings coming out from retired generals for the United States that we are on the brink of a major world war here, that we are not getting off the path. We are moving closer and closer. And I know a lot of people saying it seems like we've been hearing this for a while. Well, they are saying that we are not going further away from that. It's not slowing down. We're getting closer. So please pray for our nation. Put a praying hands if you're a praying individual, and say a prayer for our nation, for our world, for our people. As it just seems like things are intensifying, we will keep the world in prayer right now, so that way, we can pray against these things. And I believe that prayer works, and I'm seeing those praying hands pouring in. But like I said, I will make sure that I keep you guys up to date. As information rolls in, I'll be sure to verify the information before I post it, try to provide all the sources for you, so that way you can know exactly what is going on and what is the latest. So that is what has come out today, you guys. Do me a favor. If I get 4 more likes, we'll have 1,800 likes. That would be awesome. Hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. And thank you guys for all of the super chats and support. You are awesome. I will keep you guys up to speed. I pray that you guys have a blessed night. I see all those prayer hands. That is so encouraging to me. Pray for our world, and I will keep you guys up to date on everything. But that is the latest, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You have a blessed night, and I will catch you later. Take care. God bless. This is Steve. Kyle, I see you. I will check out Strawman right now. God bless. This is Steve.